Welcome back everyone, and today's video will be a small haul of two different conventions that I attended recently. The bag on the left contains items that I purchased from the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, which does travel throughout the United States, so there is a chance for one to be nearby. You just look at their website, but they did have one close to me, so I decided to attend while my cousins were visiting. This bag right here is from a con I attended today that I just got back home. I don't think I'm going to go tomorrow. It is a 3-day event, Friday through Sunday, but not much is happening Sunday, and none of my friends ended up going, even though we talked about this convention months ago. But oh well, things happen. Cons are just harder to attend for me unless I am able to schedule ahead of time, but in my current job description and work schedule, it unfortunately usually does not happen very often. But I'll talk about that one once I get to it. Let's start and open this bag. Now this bag belongs to a shop called Fog Barrow, and the thing that I purchased from her was these adorable fairy wings that go on your shoes. She has made them with loops so that you can put the shoelaces in them, and then you put one on each shoe and it looks like you have little fairy wings on your shoes, and they looked really cute. They had a display at their booth at the convention hall that looked amazing, so I decided to purchase this size. They did have 3 different sizes, a small, a medium, or was it just a small and a big? I can't remember, but I did purchase the decently sized ones. This was $25, and at first I thought it was leather, but it kind of looks like cork in the back, so I'm not 100% sure. Either way, they're really cute. They came in multiple colors, so I decided to pick these purple ones, and I'm really excited to use them. Primarily, I picked those up to use at the Renaissance Fair next year. The next thing, I hope I still have the card. Yes, I do. So this was from an artist called Red Scale. This convention had a lot of taxidermy artists, and this individual also had some taxidermy, but of insects. So they were primarily interested in insects, which I thought was really cool. I ended up not purchasing any taxidermy, but they did have this amazing, and I had filmed a small haul when I got home after this convention and blanked out on the name, but I want to say this is either a centipede or a millipede, one of those things. Either way, it's really cool. The gold looks really nice with it. With this very, in person, it's pitch black. And they did have 2 versions, a silver and a gold, and I got the gold. Next, I got 2 items from House of Hex, and the first item came in that little pouch. It's this adorable jack-o'-lantern, a snowman, I guess, pumpkin. It's so cute, and it's double-sided, and it comes with this bat charm and a bat clasp. It was the full package, so I could not pass that up. Super cute. And then they also had these socks. Let's see if I can pull them out. That were cathedral themed and had this pattern. They were so cool. I bought 2 pairs, one for me and my best friend, because they were so cool, and there was a deal if you bought 2 of them. But that's really all I purchased. To be quite honest, I thought I was going to buy a lot more from this expo just because of the theming. I love horror. I'm not a fan of taxidermy, but I knew this convention would attract a lot of vendors that sold horror-esque stuff, so, and more macabre things. So yeah, I'm really surprised I didn't buy more. Maybe that's a good thing. But it's fine. The convention itself was fairly cheap for entry. Parking was $10, which was a shame, but what are you going to do in a popular city? And I do have the card for Melody Allen. She is based in Knoxville, Tennessee, which I thought was interesting because they do travel, and a lot of vendors just can't afford to travel like that. So it looks like she's one of the vendors that does. So you may see her if you visit this expo at a different city. I apologize. There was actually one more thing I purchased, and I actually don't have a business card, which was kind of annoying that they didn't provide one. But it's okay. I think their branding is on the bottle itself. This is a fragrance oil. It says, "You are in good company in the cemetery. The spirits, the fog, and nature. Green herbal notes, fig, and musk," which describes the scent. So this is by Thorn and Moon, and the scent is called Haunted. I immediately wanted to get this because it smelled very identical to the only fragrance I've ever really liked from a vendor at the Renaissance Fair that I unfortunately was not able to get the most recent visit to the Renaissance Fair this year. You can still buy them online, but I much prefer buying them in person. And this was pricey. This was $18, but I was willing to get it because I really liked the scent. I don't think I can really describe it for y'all, but it already comes in the rollers, which is very useful. Slightly floral, but I don't want to say herbal because I'm not the biggest fan of strong smells, and herbal smells are really strong. So I don't want to say I'm a fan of them, but I do lean towards smells that are a little more herbal and foresty than floral. But it smells really good. It's not overpowering. It's just a very nice soft scent that I really like. And now for the haul today. So I definitely overspent at this convention, but I was kind of buying for other people as well. I have a terrible habit where I go to places, and if I find something cool that really is not for me, I know someone else would like, I'm much more generous with my purchasing. But I think it's okay. This was a very small con, and I'm fine with supporting local artists. So this was all purchased from a local anime convention called KowaiCon. Here is the badge. So I first saw this artwork at Expo last year, and it's by the same company, I believe. They have a wide range of conventions that they run, and KowaiCon was one that we noticed, my friends and I, at Expo last year. So we decided to go, and then no one else decided to go except me. But I had already bought my ticket, so I wasn't going to waste it. It was a weekend pass, and I only ended up going one day, so there's that. But otherwise, I did enjoy myself while I was there, and I did regret the fact that I had to leave early because I had to go home. Basically, it's an hour away from where I live. I need to go to bed early. I didn't want to get stuck in traffic, and my mother sent me on errands, so I needed that extra time, basically. But it was a very small convention, a lot smaller than Expo actually, which I found surprising because it was I think someone said it's their third year, and usually by the third year I would think that you get a little bit more traction. So some of the stuff might actually get me demonetized because it's a little raunchy, but I'll just, whatever. Oh well, YouTube. So I'll start with this artist because I think I bought the most from them. So here's the first print. I saw this walking in. They were in the hallway of the convention. I'm gonna have to put her name on the screen for y'all, as well as in the description, obviously, which I always do, because she did not have any business cards. But there's her signature down there. I think it says Ramenana. But it's so cool. It says Friday the 13th, and I'm pretty sure it's digital art, but it has this cool, like, almost out of focus effect. Even though it's a full print and the border is part of it. So there's that. It's a nice thickness as well. So this was $20. And then, in addition to that, she had a lot going on in her booth. That's not from her. Pull that out of the way. So I'll start with the sticker. She had a lot of cool stickers, horror themed of course. I got this I Want to See Your Guts ghost face in a glossy finish. I'm going to put this on my laptop. It's so cute. I also got these two prints. She had a lot of Halloween ones, and I thought they were so cute. I love her art style. I got this one with some ghosts that says Welcome Home. And then this one that says It's October. Love those. Can't wait to frame them. And then I also got this one for a friend of mine. I thought she would like it. She loves cats. And the pastel colors immediately made me think of her. But very appropriate for a car convention. And then she also had a little gacha machine at her table. So there were 4 designs. Each one a Sanrio character. I was aiming for Kuromi, but I got Hello Kitty as Jason and Pom Pom Pudding as I'm really blanking on the name of the guy from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm pretty sure that's who this is supposed to be. But I'm glad I got Pom Pom Pudding. I don't really care for Hello Kitty, but this print or this drawing is really cute. I'm almost tempted to drive all the way back there just to have another shot at these. But as cute as these are, I don't think so. We'll see. The next artist gave me this freebie. This Cindy is Going to Raise Hell, which I believe is a parody of the Barbie movie coming out. And they have their card back there, but I do have it out here. So here is their social media. Cassandra Dunn art. Captain Touche art. And from them, and I swear I've seen the origin of this artwork on Tumblr. It immediately caught my eye when I passed their booth. They were in the hallway as well. A lot of good artists were in that hallway. This is Play Ghoul. Beautiful ghouls that will give you a scream of delight. And I swear I've seen this on Tumblr as like a doodle. So when I saw it fully rendered, it was so funny. But I also love the colors. And these were actually quite cheap, only $10. It's about an 8.5 by 11 print, but still really good quality. And they, pre-packed them with their card and the cardboard. But they had a whole series of these ghouls parodying Playboy. So there was a devil that I got from my best friend, and then another friend requested this bat, which is really pretty. And they had so many others. Frankenstein, a fish woman, a werewolf, so many. And I wish I could have gotten the whole collection, but it would have been way too much because she had a lot of them. But those are the ones that I got. Really pretty artwork. Highly recommend. They also sold keychains and enamel pins, but none of the ones they had really interested me enough to buy, but I loved the prints. And then from that same hallway, I encountered another artist. A lot of the artists at this convention, probably because it's the same company, were from Ecchi Expo, or artists I'd seen in Ecchi Expo, and actually told me that they would be returning to Ecchi Expo, which is very nice to know. But this is the artist that prints their artwork on homemade paper. So I bought a Jujutsu Kaisen one at Ecchi Expo last year. So I decided to get the Evangelion one that I wasn't able to purchase. I got it from my boyfriend at Ecchi Expo, but I had wanted another copy for myself, and he had run out. So I decided to go ahead and purchase it, because I really liked it. I liked the artwork, or the line work, the coloring style. Now, in addition to that bag, I also have this one that I actually forgot about and realized was in my backpack. So in this bag, I also have a lot of random goodies. The first one is, there was a small booth from a woman who said she imports a lot of Japanese collectibles. So a lot of products from Japan instead of just, buying cheap stuff online, Alibaba and stuff. But I did see she had a Nobara sticker for $1, so I immediately took it. And then just because she was really nice when I first browsed the convention, I got there super early. Right as the vendor hall opened, and some of the vendors weren't even ready. So we chatted for a little bit, and she convinced me to go ahead and buy one of these Jujutsu Kaisen sticker packs. It's kind of expensive. It was $5, and it comes with 5 stickers, so $1 each. But I'm willing to support people who are willing to bring official merchandise instead of the unlicensed stuff. So I have, who did I get? Itadori, and they are glittery. Wow, they're really glittery. Oh, okay, so they're double-sided. So why is this one flipped? I already know who it is. Okay, Sukuna. Yes, I got my girl, Nobara. I still believe you're alive. Spoiler alert. And then this one. So neat. I'm glad I didn't get a character who I absolutely hated. I'm not a particular fan of Sukuna, but, it's whatever. He's in Itadori's body. The next artist is... Oh, they gave me a bookmark. How cute. Or is this their card? Oh, it is. So here's their information. Halloween, or Hollow Monster Co. And then the back has this print, which you can definitely use this as a bookmark. It's quite thick. And from them, I got these 2 stickers of these lovely ladies, a vampiress and a mushroom girl. And then I also got Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Had I known this, I wouldn't have bought the stickers. I would have chosen a different lady, because apparently you get the same, you get the sticker of the acrylic charm you buy. So that's good to know if I ever encounter this artist again, because I did want, I was tempted to get the mushroom girl, but I'm still happy I got the acrylic charm. It does still have the film on it, so let's see how much clearer it gets once I pull that off. Ooh, that's so satisfying. She's beautiful. I love her. She will display very nicely on my corkboard. And she is double-sided. So now I have 2 stickers. I'll probably give one to my best friend. And then I also encountered an artist whose entire booth was just Halloween and spooky and was really nice, but a lot of her stuff just didn't appeal to me enough to purchase, except for these pins, which were actually in their clearance section. I liked this witch hat, which was in very unique colors, and as you can see, B grade, so they're in clearance. They actually had an A grade of this, but she actually recommended I just look and see if they're in clearance anyway. So she encouraged me to get the cheaper option. And this one is acrylic instead of enamel, but I thought it was really nice. And I like this style. Very simple and scratchy a little. So very cool. Those are the 2 pins. They also had a lot of homemade stuff. Obviously these were probably ordered, but she did say everything else she handmade. She had handmade notepads, handmade notebooks, hats, keychains. She had really cute bags too. I was tempted to get one, but when I went back towards around the time when I was about to leave, someone I think had purchased it because it was no longer on display. So I took that as a sign that I just was not meant to get it. Which is fine. I have a lot of bags. The last thing that I purchased for myself was this shirt from a company called Cyanide Candy. And it says Fallen Star, so maybe all the artists are different and it's one company that commissions them. But the shirt is a very nice thickness. They did say it's unisex. At least most of their original designs. They did have a new design that I was tempted to get, but it was actually more expensive, I guess because it's a new design and they're using a different type of shirt that maybe costs more. But this was $35. That other shirt was $40. To me, that's extremely overpriced for a shirt. Most conventions, people sell shirts for like $20, $25 at most, $30, and then $35. It was crazy. But I did see this artist at Expo, and I absolutely loved the designs, so I just went ahead and bought it this time around. And if I see him at Expo, I'll see if I'm tempted to get the other design I was tempted by. But look at how cool that is. They also had a print, but it was more or less almost, if not the same price as the shirt, so I decided to get the shirt. And I did get this in large because I just wanted to make sure it fit me okay. The medium looked like it would, but you know, I like it to be a little looser than tight. I want to say that's everything with the exception of this otaku box pin. I don't even know what that is, that they were giving out for free at the registration table. So the last item is actually for somebody else. I was taking pictures for my friend and my sister. I was taking pictures for this particular friend. She loves axolotls, and I had spotted a 3D printed table with axolotls there. So I took a picture and she immediately wanted it. Here is the artist, or the gentleman that makes them, Brett Bagley, games master and owner. He does also sell dice, board games, and other stuff, but his booth primarily featured the 3D printed items that he had. He also gave me these coupons for some raffle they were doing today, but obviously I wasn't going to be there for it, so oh well. So here's what I purchased for my friend. They had many of these in different colors and a slightly bigger version as well. But I thought this one was so cute, and obviously she picked it when I sent her the pictures. It was only $20, which I didn't think was too bad, especially since it actually moves. Similar to those snakes you may see in dollar stores. He wiggles around, and it's pretty cool, honestly. It's a little rough around the edges in some areas, but you know? It's still really cool, and I haven't seen anything like this anywhere else. So in the picture I sent this friend, she saw some dragons that she was interested in, but then she decided not to get the dragons, just the axolotl. But then I spotted some small ones, so I got one for her. Hopefully she likes it. It was only $5, and it's really cool. It has this rose pattern at the top. It's dual toned, 2 colors. The head is really cool, and it also moves. So super cool, and I hope she likes it. Little consolation prize, since she didn't want to spend too much money on a dragon. Let's pause right here, because at this point is where I give my thoughts on each con, but they were so confusing and all over the place that I think narration is needed. So, the 2 cons I attended were the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, an exposition focused on macabre craft and art such as taxidermy, and KowaiCon, an anime convention based around horror. OC is a one-day event held in a large events hall downtown and featured many vendors in the space selling their craft, as well as a stage where some performances were being held. In addition, you had the option to purchase taxidermy classes when buying your ticket, which was about $15, much more if you wanted the classes. I bought my ticket online, so it was a bit cheaper. This expo also travels throughout the US and has multiple locations throughout the year. By comparison, KowaiCon was a small local con on its 3rd year, held in a Marriott Hotel event center that consisted of a main hallway, 2 small panel rooms, and an expo hall, which is where the vendors and industry guest tables were housed. The ticket price was $60 for the weekend, a bit more for VIP, and a bit cheaper for a day pass. Both events had a macabre theme, but are vastly different, so comparing them is a bit unfair, but I'm going to do so anyway because I really only attended both for one day. I also apologize for the lack of pictures and video. I really was expecting to just show up and enjoy myself at these cons, so taking my phone out was the last thing on my mind. I really only got bits of KowaiCon because I was there alone and texting friends pictures of the vendors. So let's start with the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. This expo is pretty much just a vendor hall with some mild entertainment mixed in. The expo hall itself was really loud and surprisingly busy, yet empty at the same time. Not enough vendors, but tons of people, so when I first got there, it was hard to navigate and look at things. It was also hot. This expo hall could not keep up with the amount of people initially. Super miserable until my friend bought some paper fans, and towards the end we noticed the AC breezing through. This is definitely an event catered towards adults, and that was reflected in the prices. There was also a good variety though. I don't care too much for taxidermy, but there was still enough of other things to keep me interested. There were artists, soap makers, perfume makers, antique sellers, pop culture horror vendors, and much more. Overall, I'd give this a 7 out of 10, only because outside of buying things, there wasn't much else to do if you bought a regular ticket. There was a stage, yes, but it was so loud that I could barely hear the performance, and from the little bit I saw, it did not seem too interesting for me. For the price, though, I'd definitely go at least once more, a little more prepared. Now on to KowaiCon. KowaiCon was a 3-day event, but I only attended Saturday due to work. Saturday is definitely the best day to go, though, as it is open to the longest and has the most panels going on throughout the day. The area this con was in was tiny though, even smaller than Etchy Expo and miles smaller than the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, but I never really felt cramped. You enter the main hallway to registration, as well as some vendors and maid cafe. To your right will be a small, horror-themed photo booth set up for cosplayers, and the expo hall, which also houses the voice actors and other industry guests. To the left of this hall is 2 panel rooms, one small and one semi-large. I only attended 2 panels, Horror Makeup 101 and 3D Printing for Cosplay, which both filled up and were entertaining. I especially liked the 3D printing panel as it was very informative. The expo hall itself had 3 lanes of vendors, half very unique and fit the theme, while the rest were the standard anime con fare. One unique thing was that there were 2 tattoo artists doing live tattoos, and a Halloween artist that sold nothing but Halloween-y stuff, so that was really cool to see. And it's exactly the stuff that I wanted to see going into a horror-themed convention. I didn't care for getting an autograph or speaking with industry guests, so I can't say much on that, but they did have plenty of room from what I saw and were enjoying themselves. I did sit in a voice actor panel for a few minutes, and they were having a good time, despite the low audience count. The artists were definitely the highlight for me, though. I spent the most at this con despite its size because the artists in attendance were just so good and right up my alley, which made the ticket worth getting for me. My only gripe is the size. I feel they definitely could have gone for a slightly bigger venue, and that I was unable to use my weekend pass for the more than one day, but that's not really their fault. That's just my work schedule. And with how far this con was from my house, I just didn't think going the second day was worth it. That's really the only thing, is their schedule just didn't have a lot to do Friday was primarily VIP because you could get into the expo hall early. There were some panels, but none of them really interested me, and it started late at night. So I guess it works out if you get off of work around 5. But I go into work in the AM hours, so I had to go to bed early, and that just didn't work out for me. So again, Saturday really is the best because it opens early and closes late. Saturday had some panels, but really not much. So again, there just wasn't a lot to do at this convention, and it was in the middle of nowhere. This hotel was along a highway that had nothing around it, so you really needed a car. If you were a teenager that got dropped off here by your parents, or an adult who got dropped off by your parents or somebody else and just planned to be at the con, there really wasn't much to do. And if you were by yourself like I was, you were pretty much wandering between the 3 rooms trying to find something to do. Oh, and they also had a Resident Evil haunted house. Really short, I got through it in 30 seconds or less, but the costumes were great and the actors gave it their all. The Leon at the beginning was cracking me up too, and he looked really good overall. He's the legitimately first Leon cosplayer I've seen with good hair. For $5, I think it was a fun thing to have there and totally worth it. So overall, I would give KowaiCon an 8 out of 10, only because I did enjoy it even though I was only there one day. It needs a lot of improvements, but I think it's getting there, and hopefully it gets bigger throughout the year so that they can expand on some of what they could offer. But that's pretty much it. I'm glad I got all of this stuff to take home with me. I will list all the vendors in the description if I have their contact information. Feel free to check them out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video.